This is a very poignant piece. Again, I would spent 3 hours yesterday afternoon at the Memorial Day Parade here in Washington, D.C., watching all these groups go by, and it was really kind of bittersweet. And Oompa Loompa posted a piece over on DemocraticUnderground.com. He says, I'm a Vietnam vet. I was drafted and sent to war. In that war, I fought to survive and for the survival of my platoon. Your freedom was not on the line, but my life was. I can't tell you how many times I heard the announcer. The announcer was a conservative talk show host for the gig. And along with Blanquita Cullum, who's a friend, and she's conservative, but she did not politicize the thing. The guy who was announcing it said, and from the left coast, and, little things like, little digs like this. And he kept saying things like, freedom is not free, Sean Hannity's slogan. But this guy says, your freedom was not on the line, but my life was. I get a class newsletter every year this time, and this letter where she writes this. In the class letter is the fight for freedom. Freedom isn't free. You owe your freedom to a vet. Nonsense. I think that talk is more for the writer's good feelings than it is for mine. We never really face the truth about these wars if we continue to fool ourselves and make excuses for spending billions on death and destruction so a handful of wealthy people like Dick Cheney can grow their wealth. And, I say to that, amen and well said. And in fact, Major Smedley Butler, this was also reposted on DU, but I've quoted extensively from his book War is a Racket before. And somebody went in and posted his first chapter. Smedley Butler in 1933, when Franklin Roosevelt was president, was the most famous Marine general in the United States. He'd been a Marine general in World War I. He had fought in the Spanish-American War, I believe, and he was the guy who stopped an attempt to literally overthrow a coup attempt against Franklin Roosevelt, which after 3 days of hearings in Congress, Roosevelt put an end to because he didn't want anybody else to get the idea. But a bunch of rich guys came to Smedley Butler and said, hey, how about we overthrow the president of the United States? FDR is a communist, and we need to get him out of the White House. So this is what Smedley Butler said. He was awarded 2 Congressional Medals of Honor, by the way. He retired from the Marine Corps in October of 1931. He said, war is a racket. It always has been. It is possibly the oldest, easily the most profitable, surely the most vicious. It is the only one international in scope. It is the only one in which the profits are reckoned in dollars and the losses in lives. A racket is best described, I believe, as something that is not what it seems to the majority of people. Only a small inside group knows what it's about. It's conducted for the benefit of the very few at the expense of the very many. Out of war, a few people make huge fortunes. Thought it was interesting. The row ahead, Ellen got us into the VIP viewing area, and so every chair had a name, a company and a person's name, and there were not the whole front row, but many seats in the front row ahead of us were for military contractors. Anyhow, in the World War, he's talking about World War I, a mere handful garnered the profits of the conflict. At least 21,000 new millionaires and billionaires were made in the United States during the World War. That many admitted their huge blood gains in their income tax returns. Nobody knows how many other war millionaires falsified their tax returns. No one knows. How many of these war millionaires shouldered a rifle? How many of them dug a trench? How many of them knew what it meant to go hungry in a rat-infested dugout? How many of them spent sleepless, frightened nights ducking shells and shrapnel and machine gun bullets? How many of them parried a bayonet thrust of an enemy? How many of them were wounded or killed in battle? Out of war, nations acquire additional property if they are victorious. They just take it. This newly acquired territory promptly is exploited by the few, the self-same few who wrung dollars out of blood in the war. And the general public always shoulders the bill. And what is this bill? This bill renders a horrible accounting. Newly placed gravestones, mangled bodies, shattered minds, broken hearts and homes, economic instability, depression and its attendant miseries, back-breaking taxation for generations and generations. For a great many years as a soldier, I had a suspicion that war was a racket, but not until I retired to civil life did I fully realize it. Now I see that the international war clouds are gathering again as they are today, and I must face it and speak out. Again, they are choosing sides. Russia and France met and agreed to stand side by side. Italy and Austria hurried to make a similar agreement. Poland and Germany cast sheep eyes at each other, forgetting for the nonce their dispute over the Polish corridor. And he goes through this. He says, there are 40 million men under arms in the world today, and our statesmen and diplomats have the temerity to say that war is not in the making. This was written, by the way, in, 32, 33? Hitler invaded Poland in 39, thus arguably really kicking off. Yeah, the Sudetenland, I think, was 37, 38, but that was more of a voluntary annexation. The actual invasion of Poland was in 39, as I recall. Anyhow, he says there's 40 million men under arms in the world today. Hell's bells. Are these 40 million men being trained to be dancers? Not in Italy, to be sure. Premier Mussolini knows what they are and being trained for. He, at least, is frank enough to speak out. On the other day, Il Duce, in International Conciliation, the publication of the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, said, quote, he's quoting the guy who invented the word fascism, Benito Mussolini, says, and above all, fascism, the more it considers and observes the future and development of humanity quite apart from political considerations of the moment, believes neither in the possibility nor the utility of perpetual peace. War alone brings up to its highest tension all human energy and puts the stamp of nobility upon the people who have the courage to meet it. Undoubtedly, General Smedley Butler writes, Mussolini means exactly what he says. His well-trained army, his great fleet of planes, even his navy are ready for war, anxious for it, apparently. Herr Hitler, with his rearming Germany and his constant demands for more and more arms, is an equal, if not greater, menace to peace. Yes, all over, nations are camping in their arms. The mad dogs of Europe are on the loose. He goes on from there. But what does it profit the men who are killed? And what does it profit their mothers and sisters, their wives and their sweethearts? What does it profit their children? We forgot George Washington's warning about entangling alliances. We went to war. It would have been cheaper, not to say safer, for the average American who pays the bills to stay out of the foreign entanglements. Right. So why were the Peacemakers not honored yesterday?
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Call 866-987-THOM.
Or if we want to honor people who died in war, and I'm not dismissing their sacrifice at all. They didn't make the decision for the war. Why not have a separate day for people?